Hallo zusammen. After having reacted to, talked about the lyrics, and talked about the music video to Rammstein's comeback single Zeit, of the eponymously titled album, by the way, Die Zeit, the time. This time, pun intended, I'm gonna be reacting to the new Rammstein single Zick-Zack, which is the German equivalent of the English zigzag, basically. The video premiered just a few minutes ago. I haven't listened to the song, I haven't seen the video. This is gonna be a blind, immediate, spontaneous reaction. And I'm gonna give my spontaneous interpretations and thoughts about the music video and the song as a German native speaker. So, let's go. If you're interested in Rammstein, the German language, the German culture, life in Germany, how Germans work, basically, this channel might be interesting for you, so feel free to subscribe for free, of course. I'm Dave and I enjoy helping people with these videos and entertain them, maybe even a little bit here and there, I don't know. Anyway, out of copyright reasons I can't include the music video or the song in this video right here, but don't you worry, there's an easy, simple workaround. And this is how it goes. If you have two screens, put this video on one screen and the music video on the other screen. And don't worry if you just have one screen, of course, because then you can also put the music video on the right half of the screen and my reaction on the second half, or vice versa. And now, without further ado, let's begin watching the music video in 3, 2, 1, los. Yep, fits the promotional stuff that they released beforehand. Beauty clinic, you know, self-perfectionism. Ooh. That guitar sound reminds me of Los. Love that song. Very underrated, I think. Ah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Cutting in a zigzag motion. That's a neat keyboard sound. Those rhymes. Bauchfett in die Tonne, der Penis sieht jetzt wieder Sonne. Great lyrics. Typically Till. Nice. Yeah, Till is complaining about his looks, like the protagonist here, and he orders that it should be corrected immediately. Was willst du denn da absaugen? What do you want to suck away there? Okay. Wow. That escalated quickly. What? Wow. Love the keyboard sound here. Wow, that was a nice ending. Nice little squeaky riff there. So, okay, Zickzack by Rammstein. You know, in a way, I could say I'm not surprised on the musical side of things, because it is a typical stomping Rammstein song, right? It is. And that's what we all love, of course. What is interesting, just talking about the musical side of things for a few seconds here, I think what's interesting about Rammstein is that even though, especially Flake always comes up with new keyboard sounds, the little ding, 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 this little lick that he plays in the chorus, I love that sound. I don't think I've ever heard that in another Rammstein song before. So that was something new, something unexpected. I love when that happens, when when you mix up things, also from the perspective of the musicians themselves, because for them it's also more interesting when they mix up certain things, when they use other sounds that they might not have used before. Also, what I just said during the reaction part of this video, the guitar sound that they have going on in the verses especially, partially at least, reminded me of Los, the song Los by Rammstein, which basically translates to something like go, ready, set, go, fire, you know, Los, go for it, something like that. Cool song, very underrated song, I think. One of my favorites, actually, a hidden gem on the Reise Reise album, in my opinion. And of course, you know, the music video itself, it was very obvious what it was about. It's one of the simpler music videos in comparison to Zeit and Deutschland, of course, but that doesn't have to mean anything, because sometimes little is more, you know? And in this case, I think it totally works for what it wants to convey and what it wants to be. It gets its point across. Not just, you know, indirectly, but more in your face. Pun intended, kinda spontaneously, because, you know, they are all very much addicted to beauty, die Schönheit. And the adjective is schön, beautiful, right? So they can't cope with getting older, with showing their age. And in that sense, even though at first sight you might think, okay, well, this doesn't really, how does this fit in with the album's potential theme? And the first single, Zeit, time, and the passing of time, you know, mortality, and all that kind of stuff, all those connotations that go along with it, I think this actually fits perfectly. Maybe this hints at sort of a concept-like album. Aging, die Falten, right? So that kind of stuff, in a way, withering away. And in this case, it's actually the same. That being a band that perform on stage and that are in the limelight. An aging rock star group, hair metal, hair rock kind of band that still want to go strong, accept the fact that they age and that they can stay young all the time, of course. And in that sense, that also has to do with time, Zeit, and the passing of time, and how we as human beings deal with it in many ways, you know, urges to maybe travel back, go back in time, to see the future, to predict the future, living in the here and now, and coping with all of that and how all of that is connected and that we are part of time and we can't escape that. And then the fact that the protagonist, portrayed by Till in this case, the singer of the band, actually aged so fast in the limelight, of course, which is also really interesting when you think about it, because celebrities, we all see them each and every day basically on social media and, you know, on TV and that kind of stuff. That also leads to us witnessing them getting older. So in addition to, you know, seeing that we ourselves grow older, that we change, the skin changes, the looks changes, you know, that kind of stuff, getting gray beard hair, and yeah. We also see that reflected in celebrities, but in this case, from the celebrity standpoint of view, some of them might not even want to age. In the case of actors, for instance, and I guess especially actresses, it's sad to say that, but I guess it's still true, the older an actress or an actor gets, the harder it might be for them to really get certain roles. So a certain age discrimination and the pressure those people might feel, even though it might not be a real pressure that other people put on them actively, but they might feel that way. And as a result of that, they themselves might feel, you know, I need to do something. I need to get some Botox, you know. As people that might not have those thoughts, we might actually blame those people and mock them even. You know, people where it's really obvious they had something done. People that are addicted to beauty, to becoming more beautiful. But seeing that under the circumstances that I just mentioned, I don't want to say that I totally get the need, but I can certainly comprehend potential reasons for those people that they might have, why they might feel the urge, the need, the necessity. On a more philosophical level, of course, this also addresses questions about imperfection, perfectionism, self-optimization, you know, and expectations for yourselves and about yourselves, and outside expectations that are being transported to you, that are being expressed to you, directly, indirectly. Of course, it's also a very subjective topic and a subjective matter. I personally don't feel the need to have something done. I mean, of course, I don't have the perfect nose and everything. I don't feel the need to, you know, do something about all of that. I like myself the way I am. I accept my flaws. In this case, in the case of Rammstein's song Zickzack and especially the music video, Die Übertreibung, exaggeration. That is a big part of many of Rammstein's songs and music videos. Same here. And at first we might think, you know, and I was actually surprised to see that, even though I know it's Rammstein and I could expect something like that to happen. You're shocked at first, maybe, but then it makes you think and reflect on things. Because, of course, it's exaggerated and it might be funny or even hilarious to some people, I don't know. But, of course, because it's exaggerated, it really highlights the underlying criticism, the theme behind all of this. To me, this certainly is also criticizing people that don't know when it's too much or when it looks too artificial. I'm afraid some people, even though they are playing in the same band, they all suffer from the same, you know, maybe low self-confidence, self-esteem. When you don't have anyone who honestly tells you, you know, maybe you shouldn't do this. Are you sure you should do this? You want to do this. You want to have this operation being made, you know, being done to you. People that feel a certain Druck, der Druck, the pressure from the outside world, especially when you're in the music business and when you're a celebrity in the general sense of the word, that can go horribly wrong. Being changed so drastically, you yourself might not even be satisfied with that new look either. So it was all in vain. Coming back to perfectionism and perfection, self-optimization, to me at least it's better to live with flaws and imperfections, not just in terms of the human body, but also in terms of art, music recordings and slightly F-ups here and there, you know, slightly little sound glitches of the guitar and the guitar strings and, you know, the movements of the hands, some things you might hear in rock songs, because those little flaws and imperfections is what makes things authentic, real. Talking a little bit about the lyrics, which I'm also gonna do in a specific dedicated video later on. Don't you worry, stay tuned for that. So I'm gonna go into more detail there. But in this case, the lines that I can remember, because I don't have the lyrics written out here anywhere, the song was just released a couple of minutes ago. From what I can remember, something like Botox rein bis ins Gehirn. That harkens back to what I said before about, you know, not being able to make reasonable decisions and maybe have a wrong, maybe even drastically wrong perception of yourself and perspective on yourself. Because as we all know, I guess, oftentimes people think of themselves as looking ugly or something like that. So once again, it's the contrast between the inner perception and the outer perception, and the inner expectation versus the outer expectation, you know, that dualism, that duality. The song's title, which can be found in the chorus, of course, zick-zack, schneid es ab, zigzag, zigzag, cut it off. That is basically the translation. In a zigzag motion, you know, cut. That looks fancy, right, doesn't it? And I think it was in the second chorus, if I'm not mistaken, that they switched from zick-zack to tick-tack. Tick-tock, time ticking away. That's what it actually is. In German, tick-tack emulates the sound of a clock or a watch. So tick-tack, tick-tack, du wirst alt. Tick-tock, tick-tock, you're getting old, your time is slowly but surely running out. That also correlated with Till's character getting older live on stage. Very impactful. Till is actually complaining and says, "Ist das dein Ernst? Guck mal, wie das aussieht." You know, are you serious? Look at this, what that looks like. Till then continues by saying, "Bring das in Ordnung." And he also said something else, but that was pretty much about it. Using Botox or something like that isn't enough, and then he uses a Tacker, der Tacker. That's some serious spontaneous facelifting there. And then, because of die Ungeduld, the impatience, he actually bandages his face. Last but not least, as I've said before, I'm gonna go into detail regarding the lyrics in another video, but Till also mentioned a common German expression, which goes, "Wer schön sein will, der muss auch leiden." Who wants to be beautiful also needs to suffer. What do you make of this song and music video? Feel free to tell me in the comment section down below. And of course, make sure to check out the video description with many helpful links to my socials and support options such as patreon.com/vlogdave. And just in general, everyone, thanks for watching. I'm your Vlogdave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.